today, and we're just going to snatch a few minutes to talk about a couple of passions in her life. And I know that one of these is actually doing crossword puzzles.
Yes, I started doing crossword puzzles with my mother. And I was going on a journey once, a very long journey, and I sat in the back with my little suitcase, and my brother and mother were sitting in the front. And suddenly there was a clue that she read out. And she said, "Oh, I wish I had the Morse code." And I piped up from the back, "Well, I do have the Morse code," because I was a girl guide. So I unpacked my little bag and told her the Morse code. But unfortunately, it didn't help her solve the problem, the clue. But I, ever since then, became avid crossword fiend and did them with her. And I do them to this very day. And I think that it enlarges your vocabulary. It helps you to think linearly or laterally, if that is possible. But anyway, to go deeper into the meaning of words and the play on words. And it teaches you a lot. And I find I look up in the dictionary and look up in encyclopedias. So it's sort of like continuing one's knowledge of the love of words, really. Is that called philology?
I am not sure, actually, but...
Anyway, it does intrigue me, and it sharpens the mind. And I hope, because I've now started to write, I don't know whether I'll continue, but with my first book, I think it enlarges your use of words, so you don't repeat the same word, hopefully. You know, you don't keep saying charming, but you might find another meaning of the word charming and use that occasionally, so that there's a liveliness to the writing and an unusualness. And that's, I found, it has helped me in that way, I hope.
I did read somewhere the fact that you were quoted as saying you're not exactly a natural actor, that you did have sometimes a problem in actually sort of getting down to maybe learning lines, etc. Has this interest in words, in crosswords, etc., has it helped you in that side of your career?
I think possibly, but there are other things that have helped me to draw myself deeper into a part, which is imagery. I think very much in imagery and very much in the meaning behind what you're saying, to find the verb behind for what you're doing. In other words, you can say to somebody, "I love you," but the action behind that word could be to humiliate the person, to embarrass, to shame, or whatever, or it might just be to warm and to embrace. So if you go deep into the meaning of why you're saying something, that helps you to learn lines. And of course, the enrichment of your vocabulary will give you more chance to find a verb, because it has to be a direct verb in order to make that system work properly. Yes, because in a sense, my memoir is, of course, largely about myself, because I happen to be myself, so I have to talk more about that. But I've also had the opportunity and the pleasure of meeting lots of very well-known people from a past era, and I thought that it would be nice to share those experiences with my readers, should there be any.
Were there mixed emotions recalling all those memories?
I really had a great time writing it. I really enjoyed it. I'd only just bought a computer, and that was quite new. So I had to learn a lot about that, right? You know, deleting and numbering pages, etc., etc. So I conquered all that, and in a sense, I really have to say that I enjoyed it very, very much, and I looked forward to going back to my computer each day. I didn't always manage to get there, but I did on the whole. I had quite erratic. You know, I'd do it for a long time, and then I...
Discipline.
Yes, well, my discipline was there, but, you know, when you run a house, and I have my husband, he was very, very good. He went without meals and did the shopping, and, you know, he was wonderful. And he was also, of course, my great critic. I would read to him every single thing that I wrote before it was passed on to anybody else.
You mentioned your husband, a Russian scientist, I believe.
Scientist, a metallurgist, a fascinating man, an inventor, and just a remarkable human being whom I met very late on in my life, and I've spent the last 18 years with him, and he's really totally changed my life. He has an extraordinarily original view on life, and we have conversations even now that are just so so fascinating, and I just have found life so much richer and fuller in his company. I feel very, very spoiled.
Something I'm interested in is the fact that your first marriage at, I believe, the age of 20 was to actor Jeremy Brett. Now, going back all those years, a marriage at that time to a Russian scientist would have been culturally a little bit difficult, I would have thought.
Yes, because Uri would have been in Moscow and unable to get out. I mean, he got out he emigrated to Israel in 1973. So, and also, you know, in life, you've got to live and open yourself up to meet the right person. I went through a lot of my life with blinkers, but I did a lot about that to get the blinkers off. And I think once the blinkers come off, and once you discover who you are and what your problems are, then you learn more about yourself, and you also are able to understand more about other people, and therefore you can have an equal relationship, because no relationship with anybody is worth anything unless it's equal giving, equal taking, equal understanding, equal respect. And those things are difficult to find if you don't know who you are, because where is the equality?
You've had your dark times, but out of the dark times sometimes emerge positive thoughts.
Oh, I think always. I think, yes, I've managed even in the dark times to find humour and laughter and optimism. I think we all struggle with those dark times, and I think that you just have to really battle through them and say something which I've always said to myself, which is, this too shall pass. Even the good times, you have to say that, which is, I think, an adage of Confucius, then used by Abraham Lincoln, and now used by me, and I'm sure countless other people.
And my final question is going back to your acting. And first of all, congratulations on the CBE, because I know that you are very proud of that one.
Thank you very much indeed. Yes, it was lovely. There's so much rejection in this profession that it's very nice when somebody gives you a little pat on the back.
Was there a particular point in time when somebody gave you a script and you thought, yes, this is me, this is my script, this is the part I really want to play?
When I was very young, I don't think I had the confidence or the ability to see that in that depth. But later on, yes, when I was presented with the Anita Bruckner character, then I couldn't wait to get my teeth into it, because I felt that was a part that was ideal for me.
Of course. And I just want to end with something that actor George Baker said to me once, which was, he said, Ken, he said, have happy times. I just want to say that to you, Anna Massey, have happy times.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.